What's up, fellas? It's Leonidas here, and I got a video for you guys. A lot of stuff's been going on in the NBA right now in the off season. Dwight Howard just got traded to the Hornets. D'Angelo Russell, he got traded from the Lakers to the Nets for Brook Lopez. But I wanted to talk about the Cavaliers specifically and how they do not need Jimmy Buckets to win a championship. So I know that's not what a lot of people are going to say right now. People are going to think that, you guys might think that I'm an idiot, I'm just completely wrong, I don't know what I'm talking about. But I've watched almost all the finals games. I did miss one, but I did watch the highlights. Might try to go and watch that game again, or watch that full game, because sometimes you don't get to see everything that goes on in the highlights. But I did watch the highlights again of one of the games, game 3, and Cavs, they played pretty well, but one issue they did have was that they were just intimidated the first game, kind of the first 2 games. Especially that first game, they're just really intimidated. So if they don't play like they're scared little bitches, they have a chance to beat this team next year. As is, I mean, they should make a couple changes to improve the roster so they can match up better against the Warriors. But they don't need to have another superstar on their team. They don't need Paul George or Jimmy Butler on their team instead of Kevin Love, because as constructed right now, how they run their offense is LeBron James, he handles the ball a lot, and then Kyrie Irving, he handles the ball a lot to score. So a lot of times those 2 guys will switch off, just playing ISO ball and driving to the basket for a layup, or just drive to the basket and then kick it out to a teammate. So if the Cavs trade Love for Paul George or Jimmy Butler, and either of those 2 guys just take Rule's spot and just play just as Kevin Love did, offensively they're really not that much better, because Kevin Love, he does shoot the 3 ball pretty good. It's just one thing that hurt the Cavs is that he was inconsistent. A couple games he wouldn't shoot all that great, and like one game he did have a really good game. But it's clear that Kyrie Irving, he's their X factor, because without him scoring 25 plus points, the Cavs weren't generating enough offense to beat the Warriors, even with LeBron James scoring 30 points, because LeBron's production just made sure they weren't getting blown out by 40 points. So LeBron's production was just the baseline for the team to have a decent showing, and then Kyrie, what he would do, he was able to help the team make the games close, or able to get that one win in game 4. But the thing is, when I was watching the games, and one of the highlights really showed me that as a team, they don't really try to call a lot of plays for Kevin Love. So most of the time, it's just every now and then they'll do pick and rolls, but it's not with Kevin Love being the role player at all. He's always just one of the guys on the perimeter waiting for a catch and shoot. Every now and then he'll post up, but since he's not all that great at the post, especially against Kevin Durant or Klay Thompson, because they're just really excellent post defenders, he wasn't able to really be all that effective. So maybe they'd have to do off-ball picks and get him on someone else, so then he could post someone else up. But for the most part, Kevin Love, he's an excellent player. He's an all-star caliber player. And even then, he still not all that effective. Partially because the Warriors are just that good on defense, and partially because just his role as he's just another guy on the court. They're not trying to make him be the third, the bona fide third scorer on that team, and make sure that he gets around 15 to 18 points a game. Because J.R. Smith, he's pretty inconsistent, and Tristan Thompson, he's not really an offensive threat. So at least for the starters, that's issues that the Cavaliers have. Another one is their defense is just pretty bad. They're ranked on the lower end of the spectrum for all the teams. They're able to get broke down fairly easily, and teams are able to get nice looks at the three and also get too many layups and dunks on them. So even though Kevin Love, he doesn't really help with their defensive problems, it's not just that Kevin Love isn't that great a defender and he's the only one that's getting cooked on that team. Because especially with transition defense, that's a team thing. Everybody on the team's got to get back and got to make sure they guard whoever's right in front of them, or whoever's needs to guard the ball. They got to guard them. And sometimes they just weren't doing that. The player that was supposed to guard the ball would go and try to guard one of the shooters, and they'd get a layup or a dunk several times. It wasn't just in one game, it was several of the games. They just had terrible transition defense. Sometimes it'd be one guy would just sprint out and out sprint the whole team so they could get an outlet pass and get a dunk. So it's also LeBron and Kyrie that aren't playing good transition defense. LeBron, he's pretty good as an on-ball defender, but Kyrie, he's really not. And sometimes he won't even try to challenge any shooters and make sure they have a tough time putting up a shot. So that's just pretty bad defense on his part. And it's just when the two best players on the team aren't playing good transition defense, they're not playing great rotational defense, it's not really giving the rest of the team motivation or an incentive for them to go out and play great defense. Because like a lot of people say, and I'm sure Coach Nick from B-Ball Breakdown says this, defense is a team thing. One player could play good defense, but if the rest of his teammates aren't playing good, the team's still not playing good defense, and the team's going to get beat. So, LeBron could say, and Kyrie could talk about, oh, well, we need this guy or that guy, and LeBron could think about, oh, I got to go to a different team in a few years, maybe the Lakers, maybe someone else, because I need better teammates. But his teammates are good enough to challenge that team, the Warriors, right now. It's just that they have to play better defense, and it starts with him. It starts with Kyrie. Maybe Kyrie's not just a good on-ball defender, even if he tried. But the thing is, he's got to fucking try. Because James Harden this year, he finally started actually giving some damn effort to play on-ball defense. And lo and behold, we've seen that his defense is a lot better. People can't just score whenever he's guarding them, at will. And it helps the Rockets. And they played better as a team. And they won. And they were able to beat the Thunder partially because of it. So ideally, I think the Cavs could probably challenge the Warriors with only, trading one or two of their starters. Maybe just even one starter. And try to trade J.R. Smith and try to get a guard that's more consistent and a good on-ball defender. Avery Bradley would be ideal for them, but I don't think there's any way they're going to be able to coax the Celtics from giving away Avery Bradley right now. Then for a big guy, I think they could also use a paint protector. So when they're actually playing good transition defense, they have a paint protector, making sure that the Warriors or just any other team can't just break them down and get a bunch of layups. No problem. They'll be able to cut down on that with a paint protector. Ideally, they'd be able to get Rudy Gobert, but they're probably not going to be able to get him. Maybe Nerlens Noel, he's good at protecting the paint. Maybe they could try to get him, but I don't think they'd be able to get him either, but they should try. So I think those guys would help out the Cavs. And I think they would be able to make a nice run in the next 2 or 3 years against the Warriors and be able to beat them at least one more time, even with Kevin Durant. But it first starts with a transition defense with LeBron and Kyrie. Those two guys have got to play good defense, or else none of their teammates are really going to start going all out defensively when they're not trying to pull their own weight. All right, so thanks a lot, and I'll catch you guys later.